Let me tell you the real reason you're stuck. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you don't know enough. It's not even because you're not ready. The thing that's holding you back is way more embarrassing than that. It's the fear of being seen trying. Think about it. Posting that video, starting that business, even walking into the gym. You're not scared of failing. You're scared of people seeing you put in the effort. And I get it. I was the same way. I'd post on TikTok for 30,000 strangers every single day, but posting the exact same video on Instagram terrified me. Why? Because the actual people who knew me, my friends, ex-coworkers, family, would see me trying. And that felt more terrifying than the entire internet judging me. But here's the thing. Being seen trying is actually the biggest flex you can have. And once you stop caring about what other people think, you'll unlock a confidence that changes everything. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I got there and how you can too. I have been posting on TikTok daily for as long as I can remember. I have 30,000 followers on there, and I was like, you know what? Let me start posting on Instagram, grow my following on Instagram, appeal to a different audience, a wider audience on Instagram. I used to be on Instagram, and Instagram was paying me back in like 2023, and then they stopped the program, the Reels bonus program. And I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm gonna go full-fledged on TikTok. And that's what I did. I grew a community on there. I was actually off of Instagram for over a year. And I just got back in February of 2025. It's currently September. For almost this entire time, I've been wrestling with putting the stuff that I put on TikTok on Instagram. I have made it such a big thing in my head. Like, oh my gosh, should I change my name to my current name? Should I do this? Should I do that? I would see videos of women who had a large following, and then they decided to change their content, and they were not getting engagement anymore, and then they just made a whole new account. And I was like, oh my God, is that my sign that I need to make a new account? Just a whole lot of like bullshit going on in my head just to prevent me from actually taking the leap. And I realized the thing that was actually holding me back was that it was easier to be seen trying by strangers than it was people I actually knew. Our brains are wired for safety, community, and acceptance. It's very, very difficult for us to do things that would jeopardize our community, that would jeopardize our sense of safety, even though it's no longer needed for our survival, even though we can live on our own or create a new community. Well, I mean, living on your own does decrease your lifespan, but creating a new community, being exiled from this community and making another one is completely a possibility in today's day and age. But that fear is still something that is wired and ingrained in our brains. And because of that, it's very hard to go against the grain. It's very hard to do something that you don't see anyone doing. Starting a business, working out, working on yourself, going to therapy, all of these things that would make your life better and you know will improve your situation. It's much harder to do them because your subconscious mind wants to keep you safe. Your body wants to keep you safe. Your brain wants to keep you safe. And safety is your comfort zone. And staying in your comfort zone is great for your brain. Your brain loves that, but it's not good for your growth and your development. Your mind will deteriorate over time because you know your potential. You know what you can achieve in this life. You know your abilities, and you feel stuck in being unable to actualize that because you are afraid of the outcome. You are basically, your body is put into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode. It can be hard to identify how this shows up in your life, but if you are procrastinating, being a perfectionist, or making excuses, those are ways that it shows up. So if you are procrastinating going to the gym, you make excuses on why you shouldn't go because it started raining. Oh my gosh, it's 82 degrees outside. Oh my gosh, there's traffic. Do you think these are actually good reasons? Your brain has convinced you that it's smart not to do this thing because it has no idea what lies on the other side. Your subconscious mind doesn't. But your conscious mind, which is the part of your mind that is trying to make these decisions, the part of your mind that is saying, I do want to improve my health. I do want to improve my finances. I do want to improve my relationship. That is the part of your brain that is trying, that is putting in the effort. But the subconscious, which controls 95% of your day and your activities and your life, is not wired to do that. Your subconscious is like, no, we gotta keep her safe. We can't let that happen because what's gonna happen? What's on the other side? It's dangerous. Even though physically you know it's not dangerous, your subconscious does not give a fuck about that. That's why you do research even though you know exactly what you need to do. That's why you think you need to read another book if you want to start the business. That's why you think you need to take another course. That's why you think you need to write down more stuff. What workout is gonna be the best workout for you? What running shoes are gonna be the best running shoes? You've been doing research on the best running shoes for the last 2 months, haven't purchased a single shoe. It's like, girl, come on, put any shoe on and get outside. It doesn't really matter. You can figure it out as you go. The procrastination process, the excuses process, the perfectionism process. Taking action, aligned action, stops it in its tracks. And that is the hardest part. But once you regulate your nervous system, once you regulate your body and assure yourself that you are safe and that you can take this action and it is going to be all right, you can take action. This is how you're gonna regulate your nervous system so that you're able to take that action. When you try to do it from your brute force, when you try to do it from, oh, I'm just gonna hammer my way through this, it takes a lot more energy, it takes a lot more effort, and you end up not even liking the outcome in the end because it's not really what your alignment and what your higher self knew you needed. It was more of like, I'm just gonna do this out of sheer will and I don't care what the outcome is. I don't care. And that's a very masculine way to do it. I think tapping into the feminine, tapping into your body is a way that makes it a lot more sustainable and effective to create change in your life and overcome your fear of being seen, overcome any fear that you have. Overriding your subconscious and regulating your nervous system so that you're able to make the thing happen that you want to happen. There are a few techniques that I have used personally that I will share with you right now. Mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness has been very instrumental in helping me identify my thoughts. Being able to identify your thoughts and your negative patterns that are happening that are causing you to not be able to take action, like that's the first step. Your subconscious is running in the background, and 95% of the thoughts that you have today are thoughts that you had yesterday and the day before that and the day before that and the day before that. And because of the fact that you continue to have these thoughts every day of your life prior to right now means that all of those thoughts that you have been thinking over the entirety of your life have brought you to this point. And if you want to change, if you want to make something different happen in your life, you need to change your thoughts. If you don't change your thoughts, you'll never change your reality because your thoughts shape your reality. Something that I have been observing in myself recently that I'm rewiring as we currently speak is I have this thing where I make up fake arguments with myself, with people, with my parents, my brother, my partner, any random person. Like it could be somebody I've never even met. It could be a confrontation I've never even had. If I'm thinking of a restaurant scenario, me like just making up arguments with somebody in order to be witty, have my way. And I think now talking about it, I understand where it stems from. I think it stems from times when someone has said something and I didn't think of a response fast enough. I didn't think of something and then like I ruminated on it for the day, 2-3 days. And I'm like, damn, like I could have said this, I could have said that, I could have said this. And so when you're actually mindful and you actually identify the thoughts that you're having and you can figure out where they came from and realize that you don't need to have these thoughts anymore. You can heal that version of you and be like, you know what? That was a great comeback. And unfortunately, you didn't come up with it then, but it's all right. We move on, we live. So that those are not the thoughts that are constantly ruminating in your mind because honestly, those thoughts are not very helpful for me. It's really not. But anyway, let's move on. Because of my mindfulness practice, anytime I have those thoughts, I say out loud, no. I'm like, no, Marlene, like, what are you, like, why are you thinking that? Like, that, like, no. And then I start thinking of things that I actually want to manifest in my life, things that I actually desire in my life. Currently, when I think of those fighting random people, instead I start thinking about, ooh, what can I talk about on YouTube today? What can I talk about on TikTok today? And I start talking to myself about ideas. I start talking to myself about creating, about being debt-free, about things that are actually more conducive to my life and going to make my life better. So being mindful of the thoughts that you're having and dismantling them one by one, because as you become mindful of a thought and you destroy it, another one will come and then another one and then another one. And you just keep on the process until your thoughts are the thoughts that you planted in there, the thoughts that you desire. We are all programs, and programs are thoughts and ideas that have been implanted into you. Most of them are from other people. Most of them were implanted to you by your parents, your school, society, the news, all these things that you learn from the ages of 0 to 7 that are running in the background of your life that are the software of your life, and you're receiving the results that you're receiving because you haven't looked into your mind and looked into your thoughts and seen what's actually happening in there. Mindfulness requires you to sit down and be quiet. You don't even have to sit down. You can take a mindful walk. Even reading is mindful because you're focused on a task. It's a task that doesn't have so much stimuli, such as watching TV, that you can recognize when a thought comes in because you're realizing, oh, I'm not focusing on the book. This happens all the time when I'm reading and I realize I don't even know what I just read. It's because a random thought popped in. So I look at the thought, I'm like, what the heck? Get this out of here. And you can do that. You can get it out of here. You are the master of your mind. Nobody else is. You are the one in control. You don't have to let your body and your brain force you into a life that you don't want to be in. You are in control. This is your life, your reality. So if you don't like a thought, if you don't like a programming, if you don't like a result, get in there and get it out. Okay, anyway, I have a few other mindfulness things that I do to program my subconscious mind, but I kind of went on. That was a long point. I'll keep them short and brief, and I'll make other videos about them if that's something you want. EFT tapping is something I've recently started where you're just tapping on meridians of your body while saying certain affirmations and certain phrases, and it taps into your subconscious mind easier, faster. I've started doing this when it came to filming. Right before I'm about to write a newsletter, I have a tapping sequence, and it helps me to regulate my nervous system and unblock anything that will be causing me to be scared and not write what I'm supposed to be writing. And journaling like your future self, doing guided journaling, guided meditation. There's a lot of ways. Let's get to the next point. If you made it this far in this video, obviously you like what I've been saying so far, drop this emoji right down in the comments and also subscribe. Welcome to the fam. Let's elevate our lives together. Let's do it. Subscribe right there. I know, right there. Let's talk about the freeze response. I spoke about it a little bit earlier, and essentially, when you're procrastinating, when you're making excuses, when you're ruminating, when you're being a perfectionist, that is the freeze response when it comes to your brain wanting to stay and not doing things that are scary. That moment right before you're about to hit post and you're like, ugh, what are people gonna think? That moment right before you're about to go to the gym and you're like, the traffic added 3 minutes to the drive. Oh no. That moment when you were about to book that therapy appointment and you're like, I don't think I need this. Let's forget about it. You know the things that you want to improve in your life. You know why you clicked this video. You know what the next step looks like for you. And whatever you are doing to stop yourself from taking that next step, I want you to breathe. Breathing is such a powerful technique and tool to receive the life that you dream of. Because once you tell your body that it's safe through breathing, because when you are in fight or flight mode, your body tenses up. Even if you don't feel it, your breathing gets shallower, your vision gets narrower. You have all of the physiological responses of actually being in danger, even if you don't know it, because it could be very subtle depending on how in tune with your body you are. So breathe. I have 2 breathing exercises, super easy to remember. It's 4-4-4. You inhale for 4 seconds. You hold for 4 seconds. And then you breathe out for 4 seconds. And you do this right when you know that you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing, but something is telling you not to do it. Right before you're about to hit post, right before you're about to make an excuse as to why you shouldn't go to the gym, right before you're about to go open Netflix instead of opening your website to put products in there, right before you're supposed to actually do a drawing, do a piece of art, write an article, whatever it is, right before you're about to procrastinate or give yourself an excuse, or right when you're doing it. You can literally have the paper in your hand and be like, oh, fuck. Okay, let me breathe. Breathe. That's all you have to do. Breathe, hit the record button. Breathe, pick up that pencil. Breathe, take that walk. Breathe. Whenever you feel the pull, that previous version of you trying so hard to keep you where you were, breathe. That's it. and do that over and over again until you feel safe and you can move to the next step, which is taking aligned action. So during this process, the previous version of you is going to fight tooth and nail. The version of you who was lazy, the version of you who procrastinated, the version of you who felt safe staying home, she is going to fight you tooth and nail. She will not give up without a fight because she wants to live too. No entity on this earth wants to die. Changing your habits, changing your environment, changing your location, changing the people around you are ways to kill that version of you because she will no longer be welcome in this new version of you that you're stepping into. So once you've identified who you want to be, what you want to do next, whenever you have that version of you saying, let's text that guy again, you have to literally say no. You have to literally take action. Whenever that thought comes into your mind, take action. And it's not going to be perfect the first time around. It's not going to be perfect when you start. It might be 50-50. As long as you're slowly but surely moving closer and closer to your dreams and your goals and your desires in life, she will become a distant memory and have no longer any hold on you. So if you were fat and you used to have thoughts of, I'm stressed, let me eat. Somebody did this, let me eat. No. The further away you get from that version of you, the less chokehold she'll have on you. The less likely you're going to be like, oh, let me eat this whole pie. You're going to change so much over time that those thoughts are no longer going to have a hold on you. And even if you do crack once or twice and she still comes knocking at the door, it's okay. You get to choose who you're going to be in the next moment on a moment by moment basis. The way I see it is that there is a version of you who has all of the desires that you see on your heart. And the only difference between you and her is the fact that she went for it, is the fact that all of the obstacles, all of the doubt, all of the fear, all of the pain that she anticipated would be happening, she said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway. And the version of you who stays comfortable, who stays in a relationship she hates, in a job she hates, in a body she hates, in a bank account she hates, in a life she hates, in a city she hates, in everything that she hates. The difference is when you're at the end of your life, all you will have to wrestle with is yourself. If you don't know this, the number one regret of the dying is I wish I had the courage to live the life that I desired and not the one that others expected of me. Your fear of being seen ties directly into that because you are defying expectations. You wouldn't be scared if you weren't defying expectations. You wouldn't be scared if you weren't stepping outside the box and doing something different and doing something that you see for yourself that maybe others might not. When you live for others, you are guaranteed regret. There is no way around it. And it will eat you alive, whether it eats you today, 10 years from now, 30 years from now. Do you really want to be 80 and think, damn, I never posted because I was so worried about what Sarah from high school thought of me? That's insane. You're the youngest you'll ever be right now. This is the time to go for it. The time is now. You don't have any other time. The past is dead. The future doesn't exist. The only moment that exists is this current one that we're in right now. If you're ready to stop caring what people think and finally build that self-trust, grab my ebook, From Solo Dates to Solo Travel. It's here in the description. If you're finally ready to stop caring what people think and build self-trust, grab my ebook. It'll help you practice doing scary things until they feel normal. So tell me, what is one thing that you've been putting off because you've been scared to be seen trying? Comment it down below. I'd love to hear it. If you thought that your fear of being seen trying was holding you back, wait until you see the 10 adulthood lessons that nobody taught us. Click here before you waste another year. Later.